Call the meeting to order. Tonight, the elementary schools. Ladies, shall we begin? Oh, Brody's going to be about he's coming back from the meeting.
Thank you. We will start with Ossipee Central School Principal Andrea
Fantastic.
Fournier. Kathy's passing out.
And I did use a little saddle stitch or whatever you want to call it.
See?
Yep.
It's a little bit tighter this afternoon.
All right. So, good evening, Andrea Fournier, principal at Ossipee School. It's my pleasure to present the proposed budget for the 26-27 school year to the Finance Committee. First, I'll just give you a little bit of information about our enrollment at Ossipee School. We have 295 students enrolled in preschool through grade 6, which is 13 more students at this time that we had at this time last year. So enrollment has increased a bit. We have all of our professional staff, classroom teachers, special education teachers, related service providers, reading specialists, counselors, special education teachers. We are currently fully staffed in our kitchen support staff. However, we have one open custodial support staff position. And we also currently have 7 para-educator openings with special education and general education support. I don't really have anything notable, but I did appreciate having you at our school board meeting earlier in the month and appreciate your continued support of Ossipee Central School. So if you look at Ossipee's budget, there were, I would say, there are most lines we have tried to either keep the same or decrease. But one line that does have an increase is the repairs building care. Each year I still am on a replacement cycle for our tiles, the VCT tiles, to replace carpeting that we have that is well over 20 years old and continues to need replacement. So that line is to, we try to get 1 to 3 classrooms depending on the quotes that we receive for getting those rooms completed. I'm not sure if you have other questions about the budget. I do believe that we have an overall increase of 3.8%, which is quite a bit less than our percentage was last year, so I'm happy about that.
Any questions for Andrea? And just a reminder, we provided you with the percentage differential cheat sheet because all the elementary schools.
Oh, this was from yesterday.
Oh,
But you can, oh, it's okay. You can.
Because with all the elementary school budgets, we're reducing by the contracted service for the nurse. So every budget, looks like a decrease. So it's decreased by that amount at the end. So that 72,000 would be taking out of contracted services and we're putting in wages, which is not in their budgets, but the wages for employees. So after removing the nurse, that increase for Ossipee is 3.8%.
Yeah. Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you. I didn't know if you wanted me to talk about the preschool DPT, or do you want Kelly to talk about that?
She will,
Okay.
but that's up to you. So as I said last night, we have preschool at New Durham and Ossipee. So Mary knows this very well. The need for a second DPT.
Yes, at the preschool level, because she works 4 days a week at our school and then travels to the other schools. So we do have a need for another preschool DPT. The numbers just continue to keep increasing, and I know that Kelly will talk to you about that tomorrow, but it is definitely something that it obviously would be for the district, not for Ossipee School. So I appreciate your consideration.
Any questions?
I don't have any questions. This is, I mean, I'm very impressed with how everybody's brought their budgets forth so far. Yeah.
Thank you.
Did you guys actually wait for me?
Thank you.
No, we didn't
It was
wait.
a quiet moment.
I was like, you guys are nuts.
Andrew's all done.
Yeah.
We got what?
Andrew's all done.
Oh, Ossipee?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
So next we move on to Tuftonboro Central School, Principal Katie Small. And Kathy will hand out the budget.
Can I ask a question?
Good, Tom, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm looking at the spreadsheet on page 4. I was expecting to see, what did you say, Andrea? A certain percentage increase or decrease?
3.8% overall.
And I'm seeing 14.44, so do I need to subtract the school boards?
That's right.
Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yes, right now it artificially looks like a negative, in the parentheses it says a negative. It looks artificially a negative 14.44% because of reducing by that contracted service for the nurse.
Yeah, we have.
So we did provide, Kathy did the calculations so you can know the actual change in those percentages.
I have a question if I may.
Go for it.
Sorry. Excuse me. My question had to do with, I think it was the music supplies. Yeah, new equipment and music. Are we buying like new instruments or something?
Yes,
Okay.
a set of ukuleles. Hi, Brody.
Oh, hi. How are you? Sorry.
Yes, so we have a new music teacher, and she is excited about getting the students started on those. So that's what that is for.
And repairs and building care, I assume that's more of a question for you, Kathy?
Nope.
So I can
No,
tell
it
you.
is.
Yeah,
Okay,
hi.
you might have already said all of
That's
this,
okay.
but I'm
Just that
just
part.
seamlessly trying to act as
Yeah.
if I wasn't 5 minutes late after leaving work.
That's okay. So that is for, I continue to ask for that amount of money each year to replace the carpets with ECT tiles. So depending on what we get for quotes, like 1 to 3 classrooms, to have those
You
replaced.
mentioned that, and I noticed your actual for 2025 was about 50,000, so that makes sense. I just noticed that was a bit of an increase, so it seems
Yes.
like we're allocating. Did we talk about the elementary school teacher? Was that part of the? No, because I know we're doing a reduction of 2 paraprofessionals at Ossipee Central School.
We did not talk about that.
We did not talk
No.
about that. Do we want to
We
talk
can,
about that now?
that's up to you. Happy to.
Okay. Is that okay?
I can
Sorry,
review.
I don't
No,
want
no,
to be
fine, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman.
I can
go ahead.
refresh
Yeah.
everyone's memory on that if you would like.
Yeah, I mean, my general question was like, because I know we're gonna get rid of 2 paraprofessionals. We have 6 total vacant.
Actually 7,
Yes.
yes.
7, okay. Sorry.
We have 7 full-time paraprofessionals vacant. So that's full-time with benefits, unable to fill.
Mhm.
And in our process, in reviewing all the class sizes, we are reducing in 2 other schools.
Mhm.
Ossipee, 1 grade level, has 3 teachers, 3 classes that are borderline under that 12 student threshold. I think it's 1 is 12 and the other 2 are 11 students. What grade is?
That's first grade, so we have a total of 34 students in
Yeah.
that grade level.
So typically, that's where I would look at to say, we need to reduce and to, make those 3 classes into 2. However, I think it's a very important factor to consider that there are 7 full-time paraprofessionals that we can't fill. So to combine those classes when we don't have the paraprofessionals to fill special education required services, it is a major concern. So that is where I would advocate for us not to reduce by a teacher.
Okay. Because, I mean, that can be pretty difficult to justify when other schools have a much different student to full-time professional staff teacher ratio that is much higher than about a 1 to 11.
That's right.
Do you
yeah.
mind if I
Ask him. I'm
Go
not
ahead.
the
Do you
mind
chair of the
if I-
finance committee.
explain a little bit?
Next one.
So I can give you the breakdown of how many students are in each grade level if you want. There, at Ossipee School, kindergarten through 6th grade, we have 2 classroom teachers per grade level, but 3 grade levels, we have 3. Typically, it's been that we have 3 in kindergarten. So there are 38 students there. 1st grade has 34, and they have 3 classroom teachers. 2nd grade has 38 with 2 classroom teachers. 3rd grade has 33 with 2. 4th grade has 46 with 3. 5th grade has 36 with 2. And 6th grade has 34 with 2. I could have changed that so that we had 3, as you can imagine. Students come in and out, but our 1st grade has some challenges where we did need, for academics, behavioral, social, things like that, we did need to split them into 3 classes. So that's why I decided to split that grade level into 3 classes and not another grade level that maybe had more students. So
And
I just
it's-
wanted to clarify that a little
absolutely.
bit because that is sort of fluid based on academics and support needed within a certain grade level.
And we experience these openings for paraprofessionals mostly at the middle school and Ossipee. In other schools, we're able to fill them. There might be 1 or 2 openings in other schools, but we're able to fill them in other schools.
Are we able to reassign people to Ossipee?
Like,
A paraprofessional?
Paras.
That has happened.
mhm.
This year it did happen.
Because I honestly would be more interested in a more typical student-to-teacher ratio in that grade and sending paraprofessionals to where we need them. I know that's
It would be-
that's a bit of a difficult conversation because it's, you know,
So-
I know we're talking about someone's profession and they're probably a valued employee, but the reality is
we would.
it looks like a rip.
We
but-
can reassign. So these 2 are not letting 2 pairs go. It's just that we're reducing the postings.
No, I'm talking about the job. I'm talking
Yeah.
about the 3rd, 1st grade teacher.
Yeah.
That
So
seems
it-
like something typically in what we've had other principals
Mhm.
propose is a RIF.
Correct. And that's why I brought that up yesterday,
Yeah.
to tell you all, you know, the process where we look at every single class, look at all the class sizes, and per the policy, we have to, you know, staff accordingly. If it's under 12 students, we have to carefully consider if we need to reduce or not. And so we are proposing a reduction at the high school and at New Durham for those reasons. However, at Ossipee, where we could reduce by the numbers, we could reduce by 1 teacher in that grade level. However, I would be remiss if I did that when we have 7 paraprofessionals we can't fill. When you have a class with 16 or 18 and you have a paraprofessional, that is more manageable. If you have a class where you're supposed to have a paraprofessional, perhaps a one-on-one, perhaps a shared paraprofessional that's also in the IEP services to work with 3 kids or 4 kids, and we're unable to fill those positions, then that's a factor that's a reason to not reduce in force at Ossipee School. However, the compromise is to reduce the number of pairs that we budget for. So, you know, it's not a perfect, you know, trade-off, but it does help to offset the budget. So instead of, we could reduce, and that would be closer to $100,000 with the benefits. But as a compromise, we said, you know, we're budgeting for 6 or 7 of these paraprofessional positions and we can't fill them. So as a way to offset that much in the budget, let's just not budget for 2 of those paraprofessionals.
Full-time with benefits.
Because we can't fill them, and we do have the teachers. We do have the teachers. Now, to your question, could we reassign? Yes. So reassignment is within our purview as administrators. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes a teacher or another position or a support staff, we reassign. Sometimes people request it. Sometimes they don't want it, and we have to reassign anyway based on what's best for students. In this case, could we find a paraprofessional to reassign to that grade level? Yes, but it would be taking a paraprofessional away from somewhere else where they're filling services. So it's not exactly, that we don't have extra paraprofessionals. It would be robbing Peter to pay Paul, so to speak. But that is a consideration for the board.
If I may, Mr. Chair. This is one of those situations where I certainly trust what the administrators and teachers are saying as far as what's needed in their classrooms. And so, I mean, I think they're the ones with that firsthand knowledge and understanding of what it will really take to give our kids the best education and what resources are needed for the staff. So, and also having been in the schools and having little ones myself and understanding those complications of there can be of behavior and all of that, I think that's a very understandable, switch up, or not switch up, an understandable reasoning for keeping that third teacher, third classroom.
Yeah.
Dr. Killian, could you just sort of speak to why you think it's so difficult to fill the therapist positions? I mean, it's the same compensation throughout the district, right? There's no difference. So why do you think that's an issue?
Well, we have more challenging behaviors at Ossipee Central School. I think part of it is the population. I think part of it is the location. There are fewer people around the Ossipee area who are there to employ. New Durham has people, the positions are filled, but they have the benefit of being, 10 minutes from Rochester area. It's so much more heavily populated. So I think that's a consideration. And I do think it's challenging. I think we have, there is a correlation between, not causation, a correlation between higher free reduced lunch rates and challenges. And so Ossipee, we have more than half the students qualify for free lunch. We have a higher percentage of students with disabilities. So with that requires more skill. It requires, it's a longer day. It's very challenging. We talked today about some really, really hard behaviors at Ossipee. We have some of those behaviors in all our schools, but you can ask any of the principals. But there is, it's a higher level there. So I could say the same about the middle school, where we also struggle. It can be a challenging place. It can be a challenging place.
Maybe, not to derail your meeting, but maybe later we could talk about like a behavioral specialist or something.
I would love that.
Go ahead.
My only comment, my personal, I don't think I'm second guessing the administrators or, how but I do think the issue is we lack paraprofessionals. Management has the ability to reassign someone to OCS. We should try to be, responsible with our student-to-teacher ratios, and I think the solution is with the cost savings that we might have from reducing from 7 openings to 5, use some of that cost savings to compensate another school that can maybe more easily hire someone and find someone who's a good paraprofessional to go and support 2 teachers at grade 1 in Ossipee rather than having 3 teachers. That's just my personal opinion. I think that's, my biggest priority is trying to get a budget passed that the taxpayers will will approve, and I think 2 default budgets is going to be something that would create a larger fiscal strain than if we just make tough, versus making tough decisions now, rather than waiting until April for, you know, the board to have to review another default budget and make what will be even more difficult decisions than what's in front of us today. So I feel as if doing tough decisions now will relieve us from making even tougher decisions 6 months from now.
Thank you. I just want to point out that in that grade level, I didn't have to make that grade level 3. I like to stay within the school board policy of how many students are supposed to be in each classroom. So I could have done that in 2nd grade, which would have put us at the school board policy, which would have been 13, 13, and 12. So instead, you know, 2nd grade is 2 classes, because as I stated, our first grade is just a little bit more difficult and challenging. So I think I totally respect the school board and their decisions, but I just want to let you know that yes, I want to help make responsible financial decisions as well that I bring forward, and know that I wouldn't want to not, do as the policy states. So that is just for clarification, that I do have the enrollment that does support those classroom teachers. It's just that I chose to put that 3rd in a different grade level.
I completely understand and appreciate that too, as far as passing budget. And I also understand from paraprofessionals as well. I mean, if we also need to be mindful that the work environment we're putting them into is a place that they will continue to stay and thrive. And so that could be a problem down the road too. So I just would like to, I completely understand budget, and I certainly don't want to end up in default. If there's a need, I think we do need to be careful with how we balance that need for the students, for the staff, and then keeping paras and incentivizing them to come and giving them a reason to stay. And it can be very difficult if they are overworked.
I'll make one comment. It's a historical perspective. I've heard this conversation happen before. The predecessor came with the same issues. They haven't changed. So in other words, past budgets years ago, when Beth was principal, and we managed to make it work. Our interest is in the kids. And Ossipee has its overload. I mean, I know, because I know somebody who worked there for a while, and he finally said he couldn't take it anymore. But it's a tough life up there. And we have shared responsibility for making sure those kids get the best education they can. It's not easy, it's not simple. I think Andrea, you've done a pretty good job considering that, you're up to the tough road. Beth and you've done remarkable work up there, but it's so tough.
If I may.
Cool.
I think your budget is extremely, your budget for, your building is extremely fiscally responsible, so don't get me wrong. I'm just, I guess I still have fears about how much public support the district will have in passing another budget, and also, a teacher contract that weighs on me a lot, and I've really thought about this, but I would gander that I am in the minority on what I have kind of suggested we do versus what everyone else may be feeling. So I will be more than happy to drop it. But
Right. Well, I think we can look at this before the meeting, before we present the budget. I think we can actually look at that issue and see if there's another way to get around it.
yeah, maybe there.
Your idea of bringing parents from the other places, it's tough. I know that getting parents to swap schools is not an easy thing. I'd rather not have them leave because they have to move. Someone would say, well, I'm not going to go, so I'm leaving. I'd rather not have that and preserve Beth and Andrea's problem, honestly. It's tough, it's not fair, but it is the way it is.
Maybe we can talk more about it tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
I won't get hung up on it tonight. Maybe I'll rest on it again.
If I can just add, I think Andrea's final point was really helpful in the rationale to the public, because overall she has the numbers. So overall she has the numbers, but where principals assign the teachers depends on what's best for students. So You know, if a teacher was reassigned to a different grade level, then we wouldn't be having this conversation at all, because they would be over 13 in every class. So that is just something that, you know, as a board, it's a good rationale that you can share with the public.
I still think
Andrea,
13 is quite
Andrea,
low.
what's your pre-K population?
We have 36 students in preschool.
Are they all, they're not all OSFI residents though, correct?
Correct.
They're all OSFI residents?
No, they're not all.
Okay.
No.
How about your K?
We have 38.
So we're talking 3 teachers next year. Looking forward, looking out beyond
Mhm.
this coming session. We're gonna have 3 teachers next year again.
Yeah, that's a valid point.
1 year short, but it's still gonna happen. So 38, you're gonna divide it by 3, it's gonna come out 13.
Mhm.
I think-
And Brody,
What's the policy?
when you had come in, our population has increased a little bit by 13 students from last year. And we continue to, I mean, I think as of December 1st, we're going to have, I think 5 more students added into our enrollment. So it just keeps.
So it seems
Keeps
like you
coming.
guys have steady population increase. There's obviously, okay. So I guess to your point, Dr. Jim, if we rift, we
We
would
would put
just
it
be,
back.
we would just be putting it back either at the beginning of next year,
Or
next school year,
before
which
that.
would be mid-budget, we wouldn't have allocated enough salary, or we would just be looking into a future budget and they would just be potentially short-staffed.
Yep.
Okay. So that may just answer that question. Or
Any other
inquiry.
questions?
Now it's that, right?
Okay.
Katie?
Thank you.
Good evening. Of course, I'm Katie Small, principal at Tuftonboro School. Thank you for the opportunity to present the budget this evening. Quick snapshot of Tuftonboro. We currently have an enrollment of roughly 110 students. And I say roughly because it changes from week to week. We have seen a notable rise in new enrollments this year, and our school population is approximately 10% higher than it was last year. And that also includes a notable rise in our special education population, very notable as well. All professional positions are filled. We have 3 paraprofessional openings unfilled. So I also struggle to hire. I think that could be across the district possibly. I think you may find that you hear that across the district. Paraprofessional positions, as I think Kayla kind of alluded to, can be very difficult positions, very difficult, and they're really not for everybody. And so, you know, we're in a kind of rural area, so sometimes it's hard to find enough applicants. So yeah, we are definitely in need of more paraprofessionals. Professionally speaking, though, we're fully staffed, and we really haven't had any professional staff turnover in about 4 years. So it's really thankful for us. We've kind of built that cohesive team. We have lots of notable things going on. You know, I won't share much, but we're really focusing on how to get more families into schools and volunteers. We've had 22 volunteers so far this year, which is great, for everything from in-class activities to helping to create projects to sharing talents to being on field trips. So for us, that's a really great start. So we're thrilled with that, trying to make more connections. Overall, for the 5th year in a row, the budget that I'm presenting you shows notable cuts from the year before. In my 5 years as principal, I haven't asked for anything above what was the year before. So each year, what you'll notice from year to year is that we just try to cut down. I recognize that the energy costs, the contracted service utilities, those go up each year, and so I need to help find ways to cut down to try to offset that. So you'll see that our overall budget shows a 1.1% increase, but those are not related to lines that I have any control over at the school level. I think Patty Morrissey may share with you, and certainly Kelly Mask tomorrow evening, but we do continue to ask. The shared DPT position between Tuftonboro and Effingham is currently 70%, and very much in need of that being a 100% position for the next year. And again, you'll hear more from that from Kelly Mask. But overall, our staffing levels outside of that, the projections for next year, based on current projections, are appropriate. So I appreciate your time and consideration.
Thank you. Any questions for Katie?
I have two, Dr. Jim, if I may.
Go for it.
One is a reduction, I'm just curious, whether it's the, where is it? Oh no, here it is. It's the 1100-731-1017 line, new equipment computer. I noticed about a $3,000 reduction there. What is that line fund and?
That's not board, right?
Yeah, that's basically what we're trying to keep in the budget is enough to replace one Promethean or smart board per
Okay.
year, and that's roughly what they cost. And so really trying to be fiscally responsible, I don't need to buy two a year, which would be the amount that was there previously. If we just leave enough for one per year, that should be enough.
Okay. And my other one is, I feel like I asked about this last year and I haven't had a moment to look through the last 2 years' budget stuff. So 26, 24, 11, 1090, the water sewer line on page 4. Tuftonboro doesn't have a public water system, so what's the cost there? Am I wrong? Does Tuftonboro have a public water system?
I'm gonna toss the water sewage line to Kathy.
Yeah, because it's not, yeah, it is water sewer, because I know they definitely don't have a wastewater disposal system, unless I'm wrong, and sorry, a public wastewater disposal. I don't know if they have, Kirsten, would you know? Do you
I
guys
think
have?
it's on well, isn't it?
That's what I assume too. I
Yeah.
don't think Tuftonboro has any public water or sewer systems.
We definitely have our own well, if that's what you're asking.
Well, and that's where I would assume that you guys have some kind of wellhead where you get your water versus the Wolfeboro schools, they are.
No, we absolutely have a well. Yep, had to do some
Last year
repairs
was,
to it.
And you definitely don't have a sewer. I don't know where Tuftonboro's,
Correct.
subsurface system is.
There's
but-
pumping, they have to come pump, right?
Yeah, but they don't have they're not part of a public sewer system. They have some designated site where they have a septic system that they pump.
You're right, but
Yeah.
They have
that
the
costs, that's
pumps.
expensive
Yeah.
to have that pump.
I'm gonna look it up, I pulled up my computer.
Okay,
I'll look it
so
up.
maybe it's the pumping cost
Yeah.
or the,
Yeah, yeah.
That's probably what it
I mean,
is.
But I'll,
It's, I mean, there's still, yeah,
It's-
service
it's
needed.
pretty
whether
pricey.
it's a,
Yeah.
I know from my own home.
It was almost 6,000 last year, so budgeting 5,000 this year.
those are my only questions, Doctor. Otherwise, extremely tight budget. Yeah, that's my guess too. They probably an undersized.
Part of
septic
that
system.
would be kind of tough for charging the disposal somewhere.
Oh, yeah, that's an additional,
Because they, you pump your tank,
but you also
but
have to.
your town doesn't have a septic system that has to take it someplace, so that,
Yeah.
they do the septic goes into goes into Wentworth all the time, pumping off waste.
I'm on town sewer, so
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know.
experience
You go
that.
through that. It's different.
So it's very convenient. Just get the bill, pay it monthly, have it on auto pay.
Was it Cat?
We had to still do some sampling of water, because you do have to still do it even with the well.
Some of the water testing.
Yeah, so then we had water delivery. So we had the bubblers. The water.
Are they coming out of that particular?
Yeah.
Yep,
It's the only one that's.
Oh, okay.
yep. So you have bottled water.
We do have bubblers, and we have since COVID. The water at Tuftonboro tastes very poor.
Yes, it does.
Very poor. Yes.
There must be a geological reason for that?
So,
It
yeah.
tastes like blood.
It does taste
Oh.
like blood.
Oh, it's just higher in iron?
And I
Hard
don't
water?
know, but we started it during COVID for obvious reasons with the water faucets being shut off, and then we have continued it because really, you would not want to drink the water.
Wolfeboro is really hard water, but I've drank it my entire life, not filtered. And
Yeah, but they-
So between
Wolfeboro water is
They-
acquired taste.
They treat it.
Tastes like pool water some days.
All set? Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have none. That was interesting, all right, learned something new today.
Thank you very much. We will move on to economic.
The city
I
boy.
can't sit on the job here.
Yeah.
City, I live in downtown Wolfeboro, city boy. What?
City boy.
I'll get you yours first.
Good evening.
I'm happy to present the Effingham Elementary School budget for the 26-27 season. My name is Patty Morrissey. I'm the principal at Effingham Elementary School. We flush our toilets into a private septic system that is pumped. We drink bottled water due to the fluoride content in our well water. I don't know that I've ever tasted our water, to be honest. Yeah, I guess I have. It doesn't taste too bad, but there is a high fluoride content for kids. So we've always had bottled water. Our current student body consists of 126 students in the following classes. Kindergarten has 17, first grade 18, second grade 20, third grade 17, fourth grade 19, fifth grade 20, sixth grade 15. All of those numbers are higher than 13, in case you weren't following one. Our free and reduced rate for this last school year, I don't have the 25-26 number, but 24-25 was 41.67%. So pushing right behind Andrea at, did you say you were at 50?
Yeah, a little bit higher.
Yeah, so EES has roughly 14 full-time equivalent professional staff members and 3.5 support staff, full-time equivalent positions. We are not currently fully staffed. We have one open support staff position, which is at 29 hours for special ed needs. And I'm expecting a custodial opening to be happening at the end of the year. We have a retirement coming that is, to the best of my knowledge, not filled yet. End of the calendar year, not end of the school year. So December 31st, end of the year. Our population continues to hold its own for our small school. We are proud of our community relationships, and we work, and the work we've done and the things we've been able to accomplish with them throughout the year. We are committed to reducing, reusing, and recycling in all areas of our school, from utilizing water bottles instead of plastic cups at our bubblers, to composting our food waste, to repurposing and reusing any materials that we can, to checking on our solar panels now and then just to make sure they're puttering along, to printing and copying and field trip planning. We really try to be as efficient and frugal everywhere we can. While our school is well maintained, we are outliving the expected lifespan of some of the furniture and equipment within it, and some of the playground accessories and the storage shed that are outside of it. I do not have any direct personnel requests other than to piggyback on Katie Small's comments about a full-time DPT to work at Tufton Road, Effingham for next year. Most of the accounts are level funded or provide a perceived surplus. The budget drivers that I don't have control over are insurance and repairs and building care.
I have a question for you. I'm sorry to interrupt.
That's okay.
Do you have page 4? Because I emailed it to you today.
Yes, perhaps.
May I please grab that and make a copy of it? Because I had a copy of it
That
today.
makes sense.
I want to see page 4 of
You want something from me?
sitting on the
Yeah,
edge
I
of
think
my
that's a good
seat
one.
to see page 4.
So,
She's at a negative.
I was like,
wait,
wait,
wait.
wait.
That's season 2. That's You'll have to wait.
Suspense.
The suspense, right?
How do I do that?
Don't let it kill you. Effingham Elementary is, I think we're going to win a race here. So I'll take your gold medal whenever you're ready to hand it out, but I think I'm going to win it.
What are you talking about?
What am I talking about?
I don't know.
Yeah, you wait till you see.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, there, yeah.
Take for your less than a
Well, they
blank
have a
page,
cheat
there you
sheet.
go.
They have a cheat sheet.
Yeah, I
Oh,
have
the
a
cheat sheet will give it
so
away. There you go, your cheat sheet gives it away.
my cheat sheet does give it away, but
Yeah.
but it doesn't match page 4 because the cheat sheet doesn't account for the reduction for the nurse because
Oh, yes.
that just gets shifted into the
Have a really-
CBA.
Yes, yes, yes.
So,
some of those things.
It's on wage.
Yeah.
Although I am still excited to
So-
see the page 4 because that is still a
Right.
good-looking number.
All
That's a
good
very
stuff.
good-looking number,
Yeah.
right?
But this number is also really, it's a negative.
It's a negative, it's cute, it's small, it's a very good-looking number.
Negative 0.45%.
Yes,
Right.
So that's a budget reduction.
No, no.
yes.
What if you had been working?
Sorry, I didn't ask you right.
No, that's fine, don't worry about it.
I know. I do have some questions about some lines while we wait for page 4.
Sure.
On page 1, we're zeroing out the line for books, print media, and math.
Yep.
What was that line for? Because if we zero out, then we won't have the line anymore in a future budget, so.
Right. So our math has shifted to a Black Line Master online kind of system, we're not buying books for kids anymore. Some
Got it.
schools choose to, and there's definitely a cost-benefit analysis you could do between buying a student workbook that's consumable and paying for the printing. You know, there's two different sides of that right there. But we are not moving towards a consumable student book model.
I've been told not to bring up copying. I'm just kidding. I've been cognizant to know that we've already deprived enough people of paper, and any more there might be a mutiny.
I would like the record to reflect that it is my key card making these copies right now. So when I get my report this week.
Yeah, you'll have to expense it to
We're not mine.
the board's line item for printing. That's more than fair.
So with this new app that we've been using, there are options on there for like field trips and permission slips and things like that. Why aren't all the schools utilizing that?
For under Parent Square?
Yes, yeah.
Some are,
Yeah, well, I know,
Yeah.
Tufton Borough has started because I've gotten some, but
Mhm.
the middle school and high school, I'm still getting paper copies and I'm like,
Thank you for that feedback.
that could be helpful. I don't know,
They're in
How
trouble
much
now.
it'll-
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know how much it will help, but
I will say, Parent Square, we have a lot of positive feedback about it.
I love it. It's
That's great.
fantastic.
And yeah, we try to use it however we can.
I have the same question about on page 2, the new equipment general, that's also getting zeroed out for this budget.
Mhm.
What was that for, and are we good with fully zeroing that out and getting rid of that line?
No, it causes great angst and worry. I mean, I worry for next year. What happens if? What happens when? But I have to be trustful that if I come to the board and say, oh my gosh, we zeroed out this equipment and now we don't have X, Y, or Z, that there would be some sort of provision provided or something.
So my concern is only procedurally, if it's zeroed out, the line doesn't
Doesn't go away,
exist.
though.
The line doesn't exist, but if
Doesn't
I
go
came
away.
and if you ask nicely, the line can get created again.
Yeah, it doesn't go away, it would just be
It just
zeroed
sits
out,
as
but-
zero for until whenever.
It's, so there is a balance in replacement equipment, replacement furniture. New is if it never existed. So if
Okay.
there's no plan for equipment, we wouldn't add any in. New is if
Like-
brand new equipment, like it
Because
never
my
existed.
understanding is that so the line keeps existing, you need to put $1 in at least.
That's by function, no.
That's by function?
By function.
Okay.
So, you know, Effingham School's not looking at putting in a full functioning science lab next year. So we're not looking at new equipment.
My only concern is simply that if we got rid of a line in the budget, then you wouldn't be able to expend on those types of things.
That would mean you'd have to have $1 in every line item of
Yeah.
the budget that you
Right.
think
There
you use.
are a lot of municipalities that do that. I'm not
No.
saying,
No.
that's, just saying that,
Yep. Well,
that's my.
that could be
I've
their-
seen that.
Having it.
Maybe.
You know, $1 here, $1 there adds up.
The new equipment computer, I noticed is that also kind of related to what we heard from
Yeah.
Tufton Borough about the Promethean board?
Yeah, it is.
So less Promethean boards moving forward. Interesting.
They're on a cycle, they just, yep.
And
Lasting a little longer.
she has a couple rooms that have never had them. So that's why it would be new.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, I understand. I just noticed it was a reduction.
Mhm.
We also didn't spend any in 2025 on it.
Mhm.
Well, if people didn't spend it by the middle of March, they didn't spend it at all.
So we're a little late on getting the Promethean
If
board.
there's no
If that, I'm not saying that, I'm just saying.
Okay. Okay. My other question is the replacement furniture. Is that, you kind of alluded to that?
Yeah, we are.
That needs to be increased. You have a lot of
Yeah.
things that are out of
I'm
date.
outliving my dining room tables. They're getting icky. I also don't have enough at the moment right now to, we're using some 8-footer folding table, banquet tables kind of things to accommodate population size and stuff. But there's some furniture that we are outliving.
There's some, and they're very expensive, so to replace one at a time is the plan.
One more question.
Go for it.
My last question is the contracted computer services. What is that fund? What is that?
Contracted computer
For
service
Infinite Campus.
includes Infinite Campus,
Yeah.
but it also has a couple other things in it, I think.
Definitely one other, the library, Alexandria. but you
Yeah,
also
because I saw that's increased a little bit. I'm just
Oh, yeah.
curious
It
about.
has Accessit, which is the library software. It has Parent Square. It has EPES, which is our student activity accounting software, and it has Infinite Campus.
What's the biggest driver of the increase this year?
$5,700 for Infinite Campus.
The Infinite Campus
Yeah.
transition. Okay. And you covered the water and sewer question already.
Thank you.
Started right out the
Yeah.
top of that. Wasn't gonna ask, but I have no
Yes,
further
you were. You
questions.
had to. You wanted
Practice job,
to.
but somebody has to do it, right?
Yeah.
But I'm fine.
Who's next?
New Durham. No other questions for applicants?
Nope.
Okay. New Durham School.
Here we go.
Water and sewer.
Come on up.
I'm going to stand up, yeah.
Spotlight, cute spotlight. Open the curtains.
Yeah.
Never cut my fine.
Hello, I'm Kelly Colby-Seavey, principal of New Durham School. New Durham School is a preschool through 6th grade elementary school. We currently have 154 students, which is about 10 more than last year at this time. We have 15 in preschool, 23 in kindergarten, 18 in 1st grade, 18 in 2nd grade, 11 in 3rd grade, 24 in 4th grade, 23 in 5th grade, 22 in 6th grade. The preschool is an integrated preschool, and we have 2 sessions. And just to be sure that you know how it works, I wanted to explain it. So every year we have 12 slots in a given class. 6 of those slots are for students with IEPs, and 6 of those slots are for kids who are more typically developing. So we never really know exactly how high that number in preschool is going to go because they come in at all times during the school year. As soon as they turn 3, if they have an IEP, they come into the preschool. So that number is ever changing. Next year, we haven't had kindergarten registration for 26-27, but we already have about 20 students who are on our list for kindergarten next year. So we expect it to be 20 to 24 students in kindergarten. Right now, I'm estimating that our enrollment will be at least 150 students next year. We'll have 21 in 1st, 18 in 2nd, 18 in 3rd, 11 in 4th, 24 in 5th, 23 in 6th. And that's with 30 IEP students in kindergarten through 6th grade. In terms of the budget, I have been working hard every single year to try to not increase the part that I'm responsible for, and to try, like Katie said, to offset the things that I have no control over. And so every year, I come to you, I tell you, I have cut my budget, I can't cut it anymore. The only thing that I did do is I moved a little bit of money for one Promethean board in my 5th grade.
Saw that.
Mhm.
I'm not even gonna ask about it because I think I'm seeing a trend here.
There's actually, yeah, there's definitely a trend. In the past, people have asked about copying, and so I was going to talk about copying, even though Brody didn't want to. Our teachers do a lot of copying, and that's because we don't really have textbooks anymore. The literacy program is the science of reading, and if you remember the piece on MUR last year, you saw students using decodable comics, and when they have a decodable comic like this, they use it all week long. And if you open it up, you'll see that they highlight the sound that they're working on that week. They underline red words. They talk about vocabulary. They work on comprehension. And they spend time with the decodable every single day of the week. And then by the end of the week, when they're more familiar with the text, it can go in their book box and they can reread it, or they can take it home because it is consumable. But this takes a lot of copying. In past years, we've had times when Katie has been able to have them printed at the prison, for example, and we've had decodables printed that way. This year, we had to copy all of our decodables for the year. So my reading specialist is already worried that her numbers are going to be high when she sees her count at the end of the school year. The other thing that we do spend money on is math workbooks, but it's only for my 6th grade. My 6th grade teacher likes these for Eureka Squared. This is one set for one student. There are 6 modules in 6th grade, and this set for one student costs $35.02 plus some shipping. So in her case, she devours these in the course of a school year, and she has excellent state test results because she's a wonderful math teacher. Other teachers in all the other grades choose not to get those books, nor could I afford them. So they photocopy things, they print offline for Eureka Squared materials. So we do have a lot of copying, and that's why we have a lot of copying. Let's see.
I saw you reduce that line.
I'm trying. We did, one of the things we talked about at admin team is just trying to bring it to people's attention, getting them to think more about it and make changes. And of course, Parent Square also helps with that because we can do a lot of things online that we don't need to print out paper copies for every single permission slip.
It came up at deliberative, people were talking about printing, but printing is not the copying.
Right.
Printing is what we print to mail to people
That's
for
right.
information on what they're going to vote on and other things that...
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
a separate thing than what you guys are copying, so
Yeah.
it's a little ironic.
I have, in terms of personnel, I have 1 open paraprofessional position, and I have 2 recess lunch proctor positions that are open. We have talked about riffing a teacher next year because of the student-teacher ratio. In terms of notable things, I'm hoping that I'm going to see a bunch of you tomorrow at Thanksgiving dinner, and I did make a printed copy of the invitation. And I also just want to remind you about the age of our building. New Durham School is not 100 years old, like Carpenter or Tuftonboro, but it is as old as I am. And this year...
29.
This year we have had some issues with water, electricity, things like that. The maintenance team has been tremendous at dealing with these issues, but like an old person, things do need to be taken care of. So my repairs building care line is important to make sure that we can take care of New Durham School. So, any questions? Oh, and I'll give you this
Yeah,
one.
is this an in-house production?
Yeah, do we get
And
royalties
that one
from
isn't
this?
in-house. We have 2 different sets though. We have the ones we get from IMSE, and we have the hooked on comics.
Somebody's blushing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know. They just happened to be, I said to my teachers, I needed some that they were working in, and these happened to be the ones the 1st grade was using in the past couple of weeks, so, yeah.
We have a bunch of admin and teachers night lighting as children up there.
We still have the copies in our house. They're a big hit.
They are a big hit.
I have a couple of questions.
No questions?
No, I have a couple.
Oh, a couple of questions, all right. If I can answer them.
The replace equipment computer, I saw that one increase, but that's just for the Promethean board?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, internet access. I assume, is that something you have purview over? That's-
No.
No,
What's the internet access increase?
it's the contract that we have, and Paul can answer that tomorrow.
Okay, well, we can
It's
just,
locked in.
because I noticed it went up, it seemed like as a higher percentage in New Durham than some of our other
Yeah.
schools, but I'll ask.
Different companies.
Yeah, they're
Different,
com-
okay,
yeah.
New Durham's covered
Yeah.
under a different company. And then rubbish removal, I assume that's just a contract adjustment, for bid and
Uh-huh,
it's increased.
uh-huh.
All right, that's all my questions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Carpenter School.
Carpenter School, that's been quite the talk of the
It has
town,
been the
hasn't
talk of
it?
the town.
Where's that?
And I still love
Anything
attention.
notable?
Yeah.
What happened? What's happened last year at Carpenter School? They even made the union leader, someone wrote an op-ed, the leader,
Oh, I missed that.
leader of one of the House caucuses included that public schools were underfunded, so much so that even the high school in Wolfeboro, Carpenter School's school, and I ended up talking to her actually, and I said, that's our elementary school, it's not.
It was a high school many.
Many years ago,
Right.
but not in
Years ago.
not in most of our lifetimes. So, but it did come up though as part of a discussion about school funding in the state. So.
Well, we are doing well at Carpenter School. I'm happy to present the 26-27 budget tonight. I'm Corinne Rowe, the principal. I'm going into my third year as principal, and it's been a ride so far. But loving it and can't say enough. I mean, the notable obviously is all that is going on with the ceilings, and the demolition is done and progress is being made. So we're grateful for that. We have an enrollment, so that's kind of an interesting question right there. K to 3, we have 105 students this year. 147 of those are at Carpenter School, so grades K and 2 are physically at Carpenter, and our, how many third graders do we have? 47. 47 third graders are here at Crescent Lake due to space constraints. So we have 51 kindergartners that divided into 3 classrooms, 49 first graders in 3 classrooms. Second grade, we have 47. 31 of those are in 2 modular classrooms, and 17 second graders in Mrs. Gray's class were just moved back into the building, which they are thrilled about. So they were previously in the skinny mod, we call it, which didn't have the same plumbing, didn't have bathrooms and running water. So that was okay to go across the parking lot to get to those things. But as the weather is getting colder and snow is coming, we decided to bring them in. We've had a chance to hear what construction is going to be like, and the pros of moving them back in outweighed the cons. So our reading specialist, math coach are out in the skinny mod now. So there's still it's still, we're tripping all over each other all the time. But we're doing well. Missing our cafeteria and some other things, but they're around the corner. They're coming soon, and we're very excited in anticipation of that. So we are fully staffed, professional staff fully staffed. We had 4 open positions until a couple of days before school started, and I was able to fill 2, which was wonderful. And then recently filled the other 2. And it looks like I may be kind of losing one. So I have one support staff here at Crescent Lake supporting 3rd grade who is transferring into a position here. So we share anyway, so I'll be able to post that position. So down one that will end up being here anyway. So we have a lot of great support, wonderful paraeducators at Carpenter, so I'm grateful for them. Let's see. So with the budget, I looked at it and I did my best to keep it level funded. There were some lines that were just really low that I just, a little bit more for science and things for teachers, just for the small things that they need, social studies. But I was able to really reduce some areas, such as some of the computer tech related lines, curriculum software,
computer supplies that we just haven't been using, and we're going to just replace. Same with the Promethean boards. Continue to do that. The big drivers were computer services, so Infinite Campus that was mentioned, water, sewer, and snow removal is a big one for Carpenter, really big. So our overall increase is 9.65%. No changes to personnel. We have what we need there. That is all. Any questions?
Thank you, Dr. Jim. My question is twofold. The first one is the science supplies. What are the new science things that we're getting? And then Kathy, I have questions about the snow removal increase in the water and sewer.
Yeah, so some of my teachers really enjoy mystery science, and there's not enough in the budget to cover those kids. And so this year we were creative in trying to find the supplies separately. It's a lot of extra work for some of the teachers that really are wanting to stick with mystery science. So that's just to be able to honor those requests if possible. And the other one, you said?
Oh, they're Kathy questions. They're
Oh,
water
oh,
and
they're
sewer
Kathy
and
questions.
snow,
Okay.
snow removal. They're
Okay.
not
The
things.
snow removal, it has to do with the new vendor and how he was billing for salt and sanding.
Oh, okay.
Huge amount. And then the water and sewer, I will look up right now.
Because I know Wolfeboro did increase its water and sewer, but I don't know if there was other cost drivers aside from the town increasing its rates.
So we had some testing, water testing.
Okay.
But we also had water delivery and all of that. Yeah. Was the town, let me look, and also DS Service of America, so also bottled water.
Okay.
So there was town water and bottled water.
Maybe similar in all the schools.
Water is kind of like a human right, you know?
Kind of even.
You know, America's one of the only countries that doesn't recognize water as a human right. Fun fact. Anyways, I have no other questions.
All right. Ladies, you good? Thank you. Nice job, Jim.
Thank you.
The building does look a lot nicer right now. Get that artifactual thing over.
It does.
Leaves open.
I'd like to still get the candles in the window. We
Yeah.
just gotta get them. We just gotta get them out. But they're all on. If we just turn them all at the same time and put them in, they'll go on and off. And I think we need. Now that it's dark early, I drive out and oh, it's so dark. And I think if we put the candles up, that'll be nice. Really nice. Yeah.
Yes, that's a great idea.
Oh, that is a great idea.
Yeah, we have to bring them some spirit, some holiday spirit.
Little set of luminaries.
They are troopers. They're doing such a nice job out there. The teachers, I just can't say enough about the staff at Carpenter School. They are so resilient, positive, hardworking. Yeah. So they had when the small second grade class moved in. Some of our teachers decorated the door, welcoming them in, but then also left treats for the other teachers who have been so kind and accommodating, and helping, supporting that other classroom with their needs. So they just look out for each other. It's nice.
Right. Yeah, and even though the classrooms are back in the building, it's still very difficult for the teachers.
Yeah.
Without having a
cafeteria,
Yeah.
everything happens in the classroom.
Or without the library.
Right, specials all push
All
in,
the
so they're
specials.
really, yeah, we try to
So-
get outside as much as possible. We're coming to Crescent Lake tomorrow for Thanksgiving, so we're excited about that, yeah.
Yeah. Great. Thank you. Last but not least, Crescent Lake School. Our new principal, Brittany McGuire.
That would be the longest night.
Thank you. Till it's over.
We could drag this one
Good
out.
evening, I am Brittany McGuire. I am grateful to be able to come before the Finance Committee and present the proposed 2026-2027 budget for Crescent Lake School for the first time as principal. So as you know, due to the construction at Carpenter School, CLS is housing grades 3 through 6 this year. This past summer, Caroline and Corinne and I decided that it really would be in the best interest of students if they were, rather than having third graders treated like Carpenter students who were visiting Crescent Lake, if they were fully immersed in the Crescent Lake School community. And so I'm very pleased to be able to tell you that that integration has gone very smoothly. It's been overwhelmingly positive. Not only are our third graders part of our day-to-day life, they participate in our extracurricular activities like drama club and unicycling. They're part of our otter families. They're doing winter sports with us at Gunstock and Pop Whalen this winter. So we are a 3 through 6 school this year, and it's been great. Our enrollment right now is 190 students. We have 2 more coming at the beginning of December. We have 47 students in grade 3, 39 students in grade 4, 60 in grade 5, and 44 students in grade 6. We continue to struggle with fulfilling all of our support staff positions. At this time, we have 3 vacancies. And I am hunting down some leads, so I'm hopeful that a few of those will be filled before the new year. We are fully staffed when it comes to our professional staff. When I adjusted my budget lines, I did so with a goal of trying to kind of streamline and make some of our accounts more usable. So for example, you will see there are a number of lines that I intentionally zeroed out, and I moved some of those funds into other similar lines to provide some more purchasing power. So for instance, on page 1, you'll see that there was an account called Supplies, Language, Arts. I took that $400 and I put that $400 into Supplies, Reading, because increasing that line from 400 to 800 by moving it, rather than having it split into 2 smaller ones, really makes it a lot easier for us when we are purchasing. I also moved money into lines like replacement furniture general, that's on page 2. Much of the furniture at Crescent Lake School is original to the building in 1997. We have purchased very few new desks or tables or chairs over the years, and frankly, it shows. The original amount in that line was $385. And if you have shopped for school furniture lately, you would know that doesn't really buy you anything. So I moved $1,000 from other lines into that one, which then allows me enough to buy 2 new tables next year. And that is part of sort of a longer term plan to slowly replace and upgrade some of our furniture throughout the building. When all of my adjustments were considered, I had reduced it by about $2,500. But as you will see, the main driver of this budget that caused the 11% overall increase is utilities and building care. Unlike some of the other principals who have had a few years in their role and have been able to start playing with it enough to offset some of those costs, we had some big jumps in some of the areas, and I just could not realistically reduce my lines enough to take much of that down. So for example, on page 3, you will see things like our snow removal cost went up significantly. It was $22,000 budgeted, but the actual cost was over $38,000. I don't really have that much in almost all of my lines combined, so it's hard for me to adjust for some of that. Similarly, our internet access as well was way up over what it was, what we had budgeted for it in 24-25. So by adjusting these lines to be more realistic to what the cost of things is now, it causes a significant bump in it. At the bottom of page 3, you will also see that there is a repairs building care. So last year, Crescent Lake School was supposed to have student bathrooms, the flooring replaced in both sets of bathrooms. And it happened in one, what's now our 3-4 bathroom, and then the budget freeze happened, and we did not get the other one. And I brought you a picture so you can see. I was going to take you on a field trip, but I don't want to take you that far. So you can see what the new tile looks like in the 3-4 bathroom, which is such higher quality and easier to clean and maintain. In our 5-6 bathroom, though, it is very old linoleum that is bubbling and peeling in a lot of places and is pretty gross.
I saw this last year and I was like, what the heck is
Yep.
going on?
So that was the bathroom that was not able to be completed at that time. So the money that's in that line would be with the goal of replacing those to match the 3-4 there and have it be a better quality flooring. Finally, I would just say the staffing levels at Crescent Lake School are appropriate for next year based on our current projections. I am not looking to add any new positions. I would just say, like Corinne did, just while I have you here, that I am, it's not easy to work when you are understaffed, but I am so impressed by the staff at this school each and every day. There is such a feeling of positivity and belonging and the sense that all of these children belong to all of us, and it's because of the staff that we have here. So thank you very much. I'm happy to take any questions that you have.
Yeah, no questions.
You'll probably do the same problem.
Yeah, by the time we get to the
And
end.
I guess I'm going last.
That is a blessing, but you're welcome.
Those are all our presentations this
They have any
evening.
questions?
They're absorbing, how they're absorbing.
So tomorrow night, we have technology, curriculum, special education, and SAU, and then the full budget, everything all together for the board. Okay. Any other questions for our incredible elementary principals? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome to the ground.
So moved.
Standing up before you even ended, sorry about that.
No, good.
All approved, everybody in the record.
Aye.